So most of my patterns are attractor patterns, but today we're going to tie the GTI Caddis, and this is a more imitative pattern than what I typically would tie. But this is my go-to caddis pattern. So in today's video, we're going to walk through all of the steps on how to tie this fly. I'm going to give you all of the materials. They're going to be linked in the description below. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you instructions on how to access the Trout Strike fly box chart. This is the chart that I use to get myself organized for the upcoming hatch season. I have everything broken down into categories, and I have links to video tutorials. So you'll be able to get a copy of this that you can use as is or customize yourself. So stick around in today's video until the end to learn how to get access to that chart. Thanks for watching today. I'm Jeff Smecker from troutstrike.com. Now let's get after it. With a check style hook secured in the vise, paired with a 2.4 millimeter round tungsten bead, start by adding several wraps of lead wire to the shank. Next, create a thread base starting just behind the lead wraps, building a smooth transition. Make a few turns in between the lead wraps to lock them securely in place. Then, bring the thread down the bend of the hook and snip off the excess. Select 2 strands of peacock herl and break them to size, ensuring a natural taper at the ends. Position them at the bend of the hook and tie them in with firm thread wraps. The goal here is to create a short, stubby tail, just enough to add a hint of movement without overwhelming the profile of the fly. Tie in a single strand of olive crystal flash along the side of the hook. This will serve as the ribbing for the dubbed body. Next, secure a piece of 6X tippet material just behind the lead wraps. Position it directly on the top of the shank. Make a few tight wraps to lock everything in place, ensuring it's secure before moving on to the next step. Create a thin dubbing loop using the olive dubbing. Spin the loop tightly to lock the fibers into place and ensure a smooth, manageable strand. Begin wrapping the dubbing forward, making tight, touching turns to build a slim, even body. Continue wrapping toward the bead, but be sure to leave a small space just behind it for the thorax. This step is important for achieving the proper proportions of the fly and setting up the final details. Make a quick whip finish to secure the thread. This prevents any slippage while working on the next step. Using the rotary feature of your vise, counter wrap the olive crystal flash over the dubbed body. Make evenly spaced turns to create a segmented look that mimics the natural body of a caddis. Once you reach the thorax area, tie off the crystal flash and trim the excess. Make another dubbing loop with the peacock dubbing. Wrap it forward to create the thorax of the fly. Now it's time to create the wing case. Start by tying in a piece of 1/8 inch summer duck scud backing just behind the bead. I like to use a whip finish at this point to hold it into place. Position the scud backing carefully and ensure it's centered on top of the fly. Gently stretch it over the body, keeping it smooth and even as you work. Once it's in place, use the 6X tippet material
to secure the shell back just above the tail of the fly. Continue wrapping the tippet forward in evenly spaced turns to create segmentation and lock the shell back firmly into place. This step not only reinforces the fly, but gives it a lifelike, segmented look. Make another turn or two behind the bead to secure everything tightly. Then snip the extra tippet and the scudback material. The final step is to reinforce the fly with UV resin. Start by coating the thread wraps near the bead with a thin layer of resin and whip finish to lock everything into place. Add a small amount of resin to the wing case, ensuring an even coat that highlights the shell backing. Use a UV light to cure the resin, which will add durability and a realistic shine to the fly. Once cured, use your scissors to trim any stray fibers for a clean finish. The result is a realistic caddis imitation with a slim profile Trout find irresistible. The combination of the olive dubbing and peacock thorax provides excellent contrast, while the burnt orange shell backing adds a bold, eye-catching touch. This pattern is a proven fish catcher. You can fish it as a single nymph or pair it with a heavy point fly for maximum effectiveness.
All right, now that you've tied the GTI Caddis, I'm going to direct you to another one of my videos and companion articles. And with that is the Trout Strike fly box chart. And this is just a list of all of my confidence patterns. It has links to video tutorials of all the flies. So the way that you get this is you go to troutstrike.com, click on resources, and then you're going to find the link to this chart. You can download it. It's going to ask you to make a copy. Once you make a copy of it, you can use it as is, or you can customize it to fit your own needs out on the water. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out troutstrike.com. I'm Jeff Smecker. It's now time to step away from your vise and get out on the water.